So I'm gonna start again. I'm start where I said. This is fucking hilarious, dude. Cut this out. This is not in the podcast.
Yeah, I know.
I'm losing time again. Try to figure out who I am. Here's a roll. Let's see how will things swing.
All right, episode 1. Thank you guys for tuning in. Welcome to our first Nonversation. My name is Abdul, and you are joined by Jason and Shavi in here as well. And we are here to entertain you throughout the entirety of this episode. But first, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I was born in the Middle East. I grew up in Sri Lanka. I studied in Malaysia a little bit. I studied in Australia. And here I am. Shavi, where are you from, bro?
I was from Sri Lanka. I live in Germany. I'm 21. Yeah, I'm studying right now. It's an orientation semester. And after that, hopefully, I get into uni. It's a bit of a joke with everyone that I struggle to get into uni.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a long struggle, but I get there eventually. Yeah, Jason, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Jason. I'm 21. I like playing a lot of sports, basketball, football. I'm a huge fan of any of that. Also, fun fact: I've been sober for 6 months now, doing that whole quarantine thing. Also, yeah, that's basically me. And also speaking about quarantine, dude, quarantine has been pretty uneventful, boys. Like I don't know, I've been doing Netflix 24/7. That's all I've been on. Freaking started watching Too Hot to Handle. Got to recommend that shit, boys.
Dude, I've been
And
told to
yeah,
watch it by so many people. Sorry to cut you off, my boy.
dude, it's pretty good, dude. You should watch it.
Yeah, I will
It's
consider
not like
it.
The Bachelor. It's not like The Bachelor, but it's a new concept. It's pretty fun. I've watched only one episode so far, but it's pretty good.
These fans recommend it like he's watched.
Because that first episode got me into it, dude. It like, properly dragged me in.
That's how good it is.
And apart from Netflix, I've been doing, that once a week fitness sesh. Go when you're feeling like, freaking sluggish, go out, do that small jog. And yeah, I've been doing a lot of spiritual shit. I've been doing meditation. If you guys didn't know that, getting, finding that inner peace. Yeah, that's what I've been doing during quarantine. What have you guys been up to?
Shall we?
Me.
Jump straight to you, bro.
I realized that we didn't really discuss that, but okay, I'll go. So I've been doing the same thing as well, minus the meditation, minus the fitness, minus the sober thing, because I've been doing that a lot longer. I've been doing that since birth. If there's any stories about me getting drunk in Sweden or anything, it's all lies. Doesn't exist. I didn't almost kill someone by pushing them down the stairs. It's all false stories. I tried doing the fitness thing. It worked for a week. But then I realized I also have to cook. And I was too tired to cook afterwards. So, yeah, it's just been Netflix. And now with the semester thing, I have that finally. And learning German. That's the toughest bit. But yeah, other than that, like Jason said, it's been pretty fucking uneventful. Abdul, what have you been up to?
I haven't been doing much at all, to be honest. I actually wanted to get a job. Since I came back home, I wanted to get a job. I wanted to do a bunch of things. I had a lot planned. But honestly, I didn't do much. And I remember when Jason pitched me the idea of this podcast also, I was super excited because that's something I can actually do. Being at home, it's not going to take that much effort. And I think all of us are pretty much excited about it. Also, the first thing we heard. And I've been working out a little bit. I try to stay in shape for as much as I can because a year back I actually got injured. And I lost a lot of my gains, and I wanted to keep, stay in shape. Since I got back, I didn't want the virus to fuck me up a little bit. So yeah, I've been on Netflix. I've been watching Shark Tank, honestly, and I think that's a show that I would honestly recommend to a lot of people. It brings out a lot of ideas, and me being a science student, I don't think that I have much experience in the business world, but that's about it.
Yeah, do you
Yeah.
watch the American Shark Tank, or do you watch the Australian one or the Canadian Dragon's Den, I think it's called? What do you watch?
I watched American one, bro. I've been binging that for the past 2 months. I've been watching that shit like fucking day in, day out, watching episode after episode. I love that shit, I swear.
I watched a few episodes on YouTube here and there. They put that juicy episodes out. I like
Juicy
the freaking
moments.
drama in it. I mean, I appreciate the business ideas they bring with it as well, but the drama in it is also pretty cool. How they freaking sometimes, belittle some of the freaking people who come on. Pretty
Yeah,
funny,
yeah,
in
yeah.
my opinion.
I've just seen the bad ideas that some people bring. Like one guy tried to reinvent table tennis or something. I feel like that was a thing. Not too sure. But other than that, I haven't really been doing much of anything with Shark Tank. But like, yeah, that brings us to why exactly we started the podcast. No, it's more of a pastime, and also to like get ourselves out there and try out something new. It's something that's a bit of a trend right now, and we just thought we might try our hand in it as well, because like we seem to have quite a lot of conversations that seem interesting to us, at least. And it'll be nice to come across people who also have that similar vibe, and it'll be nice at least what I want to do is like have a small community and of like-minded people, and just have discussions with people all over, see what they think about certain things and all that. And that's, I think, what we intend to do with the podcast.
Yeah, it's very true, bro. But yeah, I was hoping that we would actually have started this podcast a lot longer. I mean, a long time ago. Like, I would have wished we started like a few years ago. But I think maybe given all this time, we wouldn't have had the same ideas back then. We would have been in different,
Yeah, we were
doing different
younger,
things.
no?
It might not have clicked before like it did now, especially with the time we have. Because I honestly, a year back, I would have been too busy because I was working a lot. I think I would have definitely said no to you guys when you brought it up.
Yeah, so I don't know, I don't know if you guys know this. We came up with the name. It was pretty cliche. Like, we just looked up names on Google. I went through the Google images and found some pretty funny names that we had not used before. But then we found this one name. It was called Nonversations. And basically, the Google definition, if you look it up, it says it's a meaningless conversation between two people. That's basically the gist of what it is. So,
Small
I
talk.
think the three of us, we have a lot of meaningless conversations. So, I think that name kind of suited us the most. So, and that all three of us like the name of it, and sounds good as well. Like, meaningless conversations. Like, yeah,
I like the mix of people also, honestly. I think two of you guys are a bit different than I am. I think it's a good mix, the three of us. We bring different ideas onto the table. So I think it'll be exciting to see where this goes from here. Because we definitely be talking about a lot of different topics. For sure, we have talked about the PS5 that came out just recently, revealed just recently,
probably in
coming
the
out
next
soon.
episode or something, we'll have like a small
Probably.
discussion on it.
Yeah, maybe when they release the price and stuff, it'll be easier to judge them, because that's obviously a huge factor, no?
Do you think it'll be more than $500?
I hope not. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna buy it, but no, because there was a video I watched. This guy called Some Ordinary Gamers, pretty interesting guy. He was saying, he brought up a valid point about the fact that because the economy is pretty bad right now, that 500 would be a sweet spot, because it won't be too expensive because people are not going to be willing to spend as much this year considering everything that's happened.
Would you buy the PS4 knowing that it would drop? Would you still pick the PS4? Because I've told you guys so many times before that I feel bad for the PS4 because I still think that it's a fucking beast in the console world. And I think, like honestly, I don't own a PS4, but I would definitely buy a PS4 knowing that it would drop. Price would drop, and I think the games are still pretty sick that are there for the PS4. I wanted to play a Red Dead Redemption 2. Definitely want to try
Red Dead is
that.
pretty good, dude. It's pretty good. It's a long game though.
Yeah,
I have
go ahead.
I have a question now. What do you guys think about the sports world coming back to life? Basically, considering that the virus is not over as of yet, what are
I
your
think
thoughts
it's
about
okay.
that?
I
No,
think it's
because
okay.
see, because NBA is going through a massive scene right now. As of this podcast, NBA is going through a massive scene regarding they decided to start end of July, but then players are themselves deciding that they don't want to play just because they want to contribute to the actual issue at hand and fighting racism and all of that. So I just want you guys, tell me what you guys think about it.
And I think like all these industries are taking like proper precautions. Like I mean, we have seen. I'm not too sure about how NBA works. I heard they're doing it at Disneyland or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Something like
so
that.
I heard the UFC is planning on having a whole fight island thing, and that sounded like it was all controlled and stuff. Like I mean, as long as it's controlled and it's not getting too crazy with like large. I mean, there's not going to be an audience, but then you also got to think of the fact that without an audience, what's the point of like watching something? Like most of the time, the audience is like the 12th teammate maybe on a football game or something. So in my personal opinion on it is like I prefer they wait, but then if they do it, I think they're prepared for it. Like so,
Like if you compare the UFC and WWE, the UFC didn't have an audience, and I think it was actually better because I saw people talk about how they preferred that because they could hear the intensity of the fight as it
That's
was going
true.
on. But if you compare that to wrestling as an entertainment business, WWE, they actually might have found it really tough to entertain viewers at home because it
But
felt a little bit dead, to be honest. They couldn't catch they couldn't create momentum from the crowd. They had to build their momentum by themselves. I think it was a little bit tough for them.
yeah, that's because I think they kind of strive off the energy from the crowds, I guess.
Right.
because it's
'Cause,
anyway staged, right? So you kind of
Yeah, it
need that
is.
drama from the crowd as well.
Need the drama.
Whereas
But
UFC
then
is actual fighting.
WWE took a different turn to it. If you guys didn't know already, because recently in one of the pay-per-views, they actually had a full recorded session. Because now, since the audience isn't there anymore, they don't have to feed the audience as much. They don't have to be
I think I saw this.
they don't have to be in the ring anymore. So recently, they started filming outside the ring. There was a Money in the Bank
Yeah.
ladder match all the way, starting from the ground floor of a building, going all the way to the rooftop where the ring was. And they can film sequences like movies. They can get into that kind of vibe. And I think that's a different route for them, and it'll be pretty cool if they keep a part of that in the future also.
Yeah, it was crazy. I remember I watched it on TV. I think I saw like how the Money in the Bank thing happens, where like the women and men's matches happen at different
Yeah,
times,
at the
but they had
same
both of
time.
them at the same time, and like both the matches would collide. So that
Yeah,
was insane.
it was pretty sick.
So yeah, Shai, what do you think about football and how do you think all that stuff's going?
I think it's okay over here. No, the thing is, you have to consider the fact that the situation is very different in different countries. I think Europe has recovered for the most part. I think the issue with like UFC, NBA, and all that, it's all in the States where they haven't gone as far in terms of controlling corona. Whereas here, I think at least in Germany, like the Bundesliga started. I think even La Liga started yesterday, I think. And there it's a lot like the peak passed a lot longer ago, so you obviously it's easy to control people. There's less patience and all that. And the thing is, you kind of need to start eventually as well. Like you can't just be scared of the virus and have everything closed down. There's so many people who are dependent on the business as well. Yeah, people will only be thinking of the football players and be like, yeah, they don't need to work and stuff because they already have enough money. But there are so many other people behind the scenes that are on like minimum wage and stuff. They are the ones who are suffering the most, and the other ones are least likely to be compensated as well, and they are the ones who have the least amount of reserve money as well. So you have to resume at some point regardless of what the virus is doing. You just have to make sure that you're careful. That's all you can really do.
It
So
makes a lot of
people are
sense,
saying
but
sorry.
but that makes a lot of sense. But I think it's actually sick how New Zealand straight up dominated the virus and destroyed it. They essentially beat the virus being the big bad enemy, and they fucking destroyed it, and they're living their lives in New Zealand. And I think that's something that's insane. With all the control and with
As
the
all the
government,
memes are saying,
all the memes,
biggest
yeah,
flex of 2020.
big fucking statement.
Yeah, so that's what happens when you deal with something the right way. That's instead of
Very true.
I mean, even Sri Lanka did pretty well, all things considered.
All things
They're not
considered,
the
yeah, that's
richest country. I mean, we took the approach that worked the best for us with being super strict about it and all that. I was low-key worried about, it turning into an excuse for government to take more control, but I mean, everything I think is back to normal back there now, no? More or less.
yeah, more or
Other
less, more or
than,
less. It's
other than I'm
actually
guessing clubs and stuff and like entertainment and all that.
Quick change the topic. What do you guys think about Keanu Reeves?
he's a sick fucking actor, bro. I fucking love him. The Matrix 4 coming out, fucking John Wick 4 coming out, possibly on the same day. And I personally have a theory that it's gonna be the same movie, and it's all related. It's a crazy fucking twist. I'm so excited for this. I might be the only one who thinks like that, but I was a huge
I'm
Matrix
confused,
fan.
to be
Nah,
honest.
I was a huge Matrix fan growing up. I don't think you guys have watched it.
I watched it, but I watched it a lot later. Like
But
2
Well,
years
so,
ago or something.
I watched it
so
like
what if I
a lot. But
what
yeah,
if I told you Keanu Reeves is coming out with a comedy movie?
the comedy
With a
movie.
what?
Yeah, it's a comedy movie. It's called Bill and Ted Face the Music. And
Dude,
the trailer
I
dropped.
saw, I saw a picture of him without a beard. I was so sad, bro. I was like, fuck.
Dude, it's crazy funny, dude. I watched the trailer. It's like next level. I never thought I'd see Keanu Reeves doing a freaking comedy movie in the first place.
He
But it
did
looked
before, no? Didn't he do a romantic comedy a while back?
He
Can't
did.
remember
I
what it's
think,
called.
yeah,
Though.
I think he did a rom-com.
Yeah, it was
remember something
pretty
about it.
cringy, to be honest, though. Like,
I mean, it was
pretty.
fresh. It was fresh. I think for him exploring a different genre. But I think I'm excited for all his movies now, bro. I think he's fucking beasting in the industry.
Like ever since I saw that your breathtaking video, have you guys seen that?
that's in Cyberpunk. No?
Yeah, the
Is that in
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk? Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's in the first gameplay screening or something.
Yeah.
So that was pretty funny. Ever since that, I freaking became a huge Keanu Reeves fan. I didn't think he was like that chill. I thought he was like this dark guy. But then if you like dig into him and like look at his background, he had like a pretty dark childhood and all that stuff. But he's a pretty nice guy, dude. And he's pretty normal. If you guys didn't know, he takes train to like when he has work and stuff. He just takes a train like a normal person would. Like,
Yeah,
he's a
I've
pretty
seen.
humble guy.
Yeah, I've low-key seen like memes showing how humble he is. Yeah, I also saw that cyberpunk thing. I think it was him uh, as a character in one of the is a game, right? I'm sorry,
Yeah,
bro. I'm
Yeah, it's in
going
Cyberpunk.
clueless a little bit.
No, but he was casting it. I think he was the one promoting the video, the game.
Yeah.
I can't remember, dude. To be honest, I've honestly just seen the meme. I didn't see the actual video. I'm not gonna lie.
Cyberpunk is set in a metropolis of the future where body modification has become an obsession. You play as an outlaw, an enhanced mercenary working in the sleazy underbelly of the city. Yeah.
It was fucking cool.
Okay, but let me tell you, the feeling of being there, of walking the streets of the future, is really going to be breathtaking. You're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking. All right. So I got to finish this. So tell me, do you guys want to know when the release date?
He comes off as very awkward, but in like a charismatic way, no? That
Yeah,
at
bro.
least that's
I think he's fucking cool, bro. He's a fucking legend.
He's a big icon, man, in the entertainment industry.
Yeah. So, what do you guys
So-
think about the Matrix 4, possible John Wick 4, being the same movie, the same thing? Dropping like a. Okay, it's a theory. Okay, I saw some shit about this online also. A little bit of research on this theory. People do think it's real. It's not a lot of people, but it is only a theory. But I still
I
think
mean, I'm a huge John Wick fan. I'm not a huge Matrix fan like that, but
I wish you were a huge fucking Matrix fan, bro.
I
Can
feel
watch
like
it,
that
like,
would.
so much.
I mean, I know I've seen a lot of like the memes and shit about Matrix and stuff. I'm guessing that'll look pretty cool with what I've seen about John Wick and all.
Yeah, but I'm still excited for both the movies. So even if they're separate movies, I'll be a little bit sad. But I'll still be excited for both separately because I've been waiting for the continuation of the Matrix, the franchise for a long time. I think it was like 2001, like 98, 99, 2001 release, almost around that time.
it was pretty old, no?
It's pretty old, yeah, for sure.
But wasn't the third part pretty bad? That's what I heard, at least.
No, it's sort of like you love the first two movies that you wouldn't mind watching the continuation. It's like you start a series, enjoy the start, you watch it because you enjoy the story, you want to see how the story ends, kind of deal.
Second movie was like that good, like they couldn't top it off anymore, I guess, and people were disappointed with the third one.
Yes. Speaking
What
of
I would guess.
same thing happened to Game of Thrones. Fucking huge series, insane story, and the final season, the series finale, all of it, bring it
Jason
down
just
for
stopped at
everyone.
season 4, no? Jason stopped at season
Oh, it
4.
was.
Stop. I never finished that, dude. I don't know how people
guys,
get through that.
Dude, you guys, Shavi, you
I
finished it,
finished
right?
it. Bro. I finished it.
Thank God.
I got the disappointment, but yeah, it was unfortunate. But I guess it's something that everyone's acknowledged and gone past at this point.
Jason, you're part of the. Do you consider yourself as part of the 1% that didn't watch Game of Thrones? I think the 0.1%.
He has no choice.
Dude, I mean, I don't mind it, dude. Like, Game of Thrones wasn't that big a deal for me, dude.
That's gonna get a lot of hate, bro. It's gonna get a lot of
Not
hate.
after the final season, no. They'll be on his side after the final season.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's no, I just think that a show that big, being that great, even them making a small mistake, or them going slightly off track would be perceived as a huge fuck up, but it's not. I was actually in a sense content with the end, and they had to bring an end to it. Whatever end they brought to it was definitely going to be criticized however they could. So I think it was a good end to that story. It was shocking, obviously. Everyone was like mindfuck, but it was still a pretty good end, all things considered. But
Moral of the story is that you have to make sure that you have a good ending. So that being said, it's probably going to bring
That
us to
being
the end of
said,
our first podcast. Yeah, hopefully on the next episode, I don't know,
I
what
will
do you think we
literally
have
get
planned?
into the PS5 Xbox whole argument, kind of have a small debate. I know Shavi likes Xbox. I know Abdul and I like PS4. We can
dude,
have a small.
for sure, bro. We should talk about all of that, and we appreciate you guys joining in, tuning in, watching all of us just talk about a little bit of everything, and we'll see you on the next one.